Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to build a schedule for your Rheem or Ruud heat pump water heater. So just keep in mind that for mine, I actually have a 120 volt only water heater. So the scheduling might be different if you have a hybrid because I think there's more options where you can actually turn it off. So if we go into the home screen here, go ahead and go to the bottom left and hit schedule. And this is where you can schedule how you want the heat pump to work. So for mine, since it is a 120 only, there's actually no way to turn it off via the schedule. There is a workaround. So if you see at 4 p.m., it says 110. It's kind of like a quote unquote turning it off because I'm setting it as low as I can. But if empty the tank, then it probably would turn on because there wouldn't be any water in there that's 110 degrees. So just keep that in mind. That is kind of a workaround, but it could still turn on if you empty enough of the water out. So to do the scheduling, you can just pick any of the time frames. So if I back up just a little bit, for this heat pump water heater, all four of these time frames have to be there. You can't delete any of them. That's just how they have it set up. So for mine, this 2 a.m. 120 is a plug basically because I only need three. And so anyway, so if we go into that, how you change it to whatever you want is if you press and hold the 120 and drag, then you can change it. Or at the bottom here, you can press the pluses and the minuses and you do the same thing. And then also for the time, just hit the time number and then you can change it to whatever time you want, AM, PM, etc. And hit save at the bottom and it'll save that time. If you want, you know, Monday, Tuesday, all the same for every day, which is what we have because schedule is basically always the same. Hit copy at the upper right, and then you can select which days you want to copy, hit save, and then it does that. Then it'll save the same thing for those same days. Then just make sure that you toggle the follow schedule on. So see how it's on now. Hit save at the bottom, and you have a saved schedule. So I guess what I'll do is I'll explain the logic behind how I have it set up. So maybe that'll help you understand how it works better and why I have the numbers I have. So we have basically we're on a time of use rate right now because we have solar. And so basically the time of use rate, 4 to 9, is the peak pricing. So that's obviously when I don't want the water heater running because then I'm essentially wasting more money than I need to be wasting. So I have it set at 110 at 4 p.m. So that way it basically essentially doesn't turn on. So how I prepare for that is I have it set at 140, which is the temperature I actually want the water at 1 p.m. And I figure that 3 hours is enough time to heat the water up to 140 and then it shuts off. And so the insulation in these tanks are really good. So I'm not worried about the water dropping too much between 4 and 9, even if it's stopped heating the water to 140 at 4 p.m. So it's not really a big deal. So, and then at 9 p.m. when the time of use rate is now at off peak, I have it set at 120 again. So that way, if it gets lower than that, the heat pump water heater will turn on. And so the reason I have it at 120 is because can't remember, but there's like a bacteria or something that's, if you have the tank under 120, it can start growing in the tank and that's gonna make you sick. So that's why I have it set at 120. So I really only care about just at night, 5 to 10, basically when we take showers. And so that's why I don't have kind of another setup in the morning because we don't typically take showers in the morning. So if I'm doing dishes in the morning or using a little bit of hot water in the morning, 120 is totally fine for that. I don't even notice a difference. So that's how the scheduling kind of works, and that's how I have it set up. So hopefully that helps you understand how it works. One other thing I noticed too is that me and the wifey took separate showers a little while ago, and as you can see, it's at 100. It's at 2/3 full right now. And so what I've noticed is that even though it's 2/3 full, apparently the tank is still at 120 or higher because the heat pump's not on right now. And what I've noticed is that it does this and it doesn't actually turn on until about 9 or 10 a.m. in the morning. And then it goes all the way to 4 p.m. when I have it set to 110. So basically, obviously, it's going to be hotter than 110. So it'll shut off at 4. So that's also something to note. My guess on that is because I think the temp sensor is at the bottom of the tank. And so the hot water is at the bottom. And then basically, when you take a shower and you pull in cold water from the street, I think that dumps into the top of the tank. And so that's my guess as to why it's two-thirds full and the heat pump hasn't actually turned on. So I guess at 9 a.m. or whatever, it thinks it's less than 120, so it'll turn on. And then basically at 1 p.m., when I have it set to 140, it's obviously going to kick on again if it's turned off, which sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And then my logic is basically it has 3 hours to heat the rest of the tank up to 140 and then shut off at 4 p.m. So we've got hot water, 140-ish degree water for our showers at night, and then we just repeat every day. So it's been working great for us, even though it's two-thirds full right now, or sometimes it's one-third full. When it turns on in the morning and reheats the rest of the water, the tank is full at 4 p.m. and we're good to go. So I haven't had any issues with it. So this schedule seems to work for me. And basically, the reason why I want to have it on the schedule also is to try and save some energy as well. Just to save energy because trying to be, as efficient as possible. So that's why we have it set up like this. Where basically I want to only have it at 140 at night to try and save some energy. So hope that scheduling was helpful. If you have any comments or if it's confusing, let me know in the comments section below, and I can obviously respond to it. Hope the video was helpful, and thanks for watching.